Today I compiled 10 of my album reviews of the Rolling Stone 500 Greatest Albums of All Time list. Today I listened to album 440, Loretta Lynn's 1981 album Coal Miner's Daughter. If you didn't know English, what would you think of this album? You surely enjoy Lynn's warm and sweet voice and a simple loping beat made up only of guitars, banjo, drums, and maybe a honky-tonk piano. But that's it. I brings up to point out how lyric-focused this album is. The title track, for example, is an entire valley from being autobiographical tale of Lynn's humble childhood. Not understanding English would obscure Lynn's weird relationship with her partner/husband. She's upset that he's never home on the man of the house. What if he ticked Jesse's cheating? On Another Man Loved Me Last Night, suddenly she's the cheater. And again is really defensive of him on It'll Be Open Season on You, threatening violence and the women flirting with him. Of course these songs are actually vignettes of events that may or may not have happened, but it seems like a missed opportunity that this album isn't more introspective, since it has a lot of covers and this is a common believability problem. Namely that I don't really believe that Lynn could be the asshole ex of Twitty's Hello Darling. Let's look at the album though, 3.2 out of 5. Today I listened to album 439, James Brown's 1970 album Sex Machine. No, not that kind of sex machine. Instead it's legendary funkmaster James Brown himself, who with every shout and grunt channels the pure energy of Eros. Brown's reputation as a frontman is such that releasing a non-live album of his would have been idiotic. The second half of the double album was truly recorded live in Georgia in '69. The first half was studio recordings with audience applause dubbed in. Sometimes you need studio magic to make a song come to life. In truth, the album is a little uneven. The instrumental cover Spinning Wheel can be skipped. With its orchestral bombast, Brown's cover If I Ruled the World should have been the closing of Mother Popcorn. The songs also end very abruptly. I don't know if I'm listening to a weird version of this album or something, but it's Brown's exploration of gender dynamics in It's a Man's world that's a masterpiece in this album. The Sex Machine keeps on working. 3.4 out of 5. Today I listened to album 438, Blur's 1994 album Parklife. Alternative rock became one of the most popular genres in the 90s in the US, drawing inspiration from punk, metal, and so-called college rock. In the UK, Britpop drew inspiration from 60s rock instead, while Oasis draw heavy inspiration from the Beatles. At the reach of their third album, Blur were anointed as heirs apparent to the Kinks. Where the Kinks used music hall, Blur used canonical music on The Debt Collector and Closer Lot 105. Where the Kinks wrote one of the all-time great LGBT songs in Lola, Blur wrote a bisexual disco anthem in Girls and Boys. The inspiration is most evident on the hit single Parklife, so a tongue-in-cheek pastiche of working class life. The album starts off strong. 90-second songs like Bank Holiday, aforementioned The Debt Collector, and Far Out make it seem like a first draft. The rest is like a win though. Songs like The Ethereal to the End, the action-packed London Loves, and a whimsical Clover Overdove. At times, Blur are almost too English. They're Union Jack pillow souvenirs designed for American consumption. They're very capable of crafting songs stand beside the classics by the Kinks. 3.3 out of 5. Today I listened to album 437, Gorilla's 2005 album Demon Days. It's shocking to me that this record was only added to the ranking in 2023. Blur lead singer Damon Albarn, the creative force behind Gorillaz, is a genre polymath, blending elements of rock, electronica, and hip-hop into an unrecognizable soup of melodies, chords, and beats. If it had to be categorized, Demon Days is probably counted as alternative hip-hop. 90s Refugees, the Far Side alumnus Booty Brown and De La Soul both feature, as well as contemporary underground stations like MF Doom and Roots Maneuver. Albarn definitely did not segregate music, switching from electronica to Radiohead-style post-Britpop on Last Living Souls, and sharing the limelight between Roots Maneuver and trip-hopper Martina Topley Bird and All Alone. Feel Good Inc. is unmistakable a masterpiece of the track. From a sweet chorus about windmills to Maceo's maniacal laughing, other highlights include the new metal-inspired ode to alcoholism White Light, and the ironic fairy tale fire coming out of the monkey's head. And the best part of this album, it pays the way for the arch. 3.4 out of 5. Today I listened to album 436, Tupac's 1986 album All Eyes on Me. The first album to release after his imprisonment, and the last before his death. All Eyes on Me goes all in on embracing the thug life. It does make it seem pretty cool. It's all about smoking weed, getting drunk, and banging hot women. Even when your brothers die, it's not a tragedy. Life goes on. It seems irresponsible for Tupac to romanticize a lifestyle that would kill him the same year. At least we know he's not a poser. We also have to criticize Tupac's treatment of women. On this album, women are all waiting at home while you run the streets, gagging for some thug passion. She's a bit reductive. The only woman who Tupac seems to respect is Storm, when you feel a member of his Outlaws posse, who could handle her own as a gangster. All Eyes on Me is also very long, and every song has a repetitive synth melody that can be composed on a Fisher-Price xylophone. Perhaps that just comes with the territory of G-Funk, but Tupac's charisma is a real draw here, and that remains intact. 2.6 out of 5. Today I listened to album 435, Pet Shop Boys' 1987 album actually. The Pet Shop Boys' second album sees them following up the success of the previous year's Please and the Atlantic conquering hit West End Girls. Sophisticated synthpop, built on clattering drum machines, bumping keyboards, and whooshing synths. Though there are elements of disco too, on Heart for example. Instrumentalist Chris Lowe's polyrhythms also have distinct African flair. Graceland came out the year before. The other key to synthpop is icy cool bridgy vocals. This is where former music critic Neil Tennant comes in. Tennant is not the greatest singer. On a technical level, he's blown out of the water by middle-aged Dusty Springfield, but his emotionless style is perfect for the moment. The political couldn't happen here, but it fits greatly from Tennant's disaffected singing to capture the nationalist apathy of Thatcher's Britain. On the contrary, It's a Sin, which deals with the lingering effect of Christian education, has been improved by singing with more heft to the voice. In many ways, actually is a combination of synthpop, detached singing, catchy synth tunes, and emotionally mature songwriting, but it's less fun than the groundbreaking new wave from which it descends. 3.4 out of 5. Today I listened to album 434, Pavement's 1984 album Crooked Rain, Crooked Rain. Oh great, another example of a great indie rock band selling out. Did you hear? One of their songs even being played on the radio. It's about going to the bars or something. I kid, but selling out was one of the great concerns in rock in the 90s, when weird alternative rock bands became unexpectedly popular in Nirvana's wake. With hindsight, we realize how silly his preoccupation was. Your favourite band getting little extra cash at the cost of some slicker production seems worth it. The Pavement remain plenty weird anyway. Their big hit Cut Your Hairs about refusing to change. They go off on weird tangents about crashing planes and the end of rock and roll and whatever else Stephen Martinus felt like talking about today. What pulls this album down is I need to be in the right frame of mind to enjoy it. Currently throwing Pavement at a party. This is a really cool party. When I feel like rocking out to some alternative rock at night in my bedroom, this album hits the spot. 3.3 out of 5. Today I listened to album 433, LCD Soundsystem's 2007 album Sound of Silver. LCD Soundsystem was one of the many indie bands which gained attention in the wake of Is This It? They got cult popularity in the US and became mainstream superstars in the UK, to the extent that Mr. Soundsystem had to clarify that he wasn't British or North American scum. The scene was called Indie Landfill, or Indie Sleaze, which brings to mind shady headness like Talentless Waste of Skin, Pete Doherty, or even Julian Casablancas. On the contrary, Mr. Soundsystem wanted to make his polite indie disco. I love this kind of music, with the insistent bass lines and the earnest lyrics, which are the ancestors of Blinding Lights or As It Was. While the album loses me a bit, it's on the largely instrumental 7-minute songs like Get Innocuous or the title track, which don't really build but just maintain the same beat for the whole song. I do really like the closer. I don't love New York enough to relate to the lyrics, I've only been once, but amid the developing financial crisis that became the Great Recession, screaming along to the riotous ending must have been a comfort. 4 out of 5. Today I listened to album 432, Usher's 2004 album Confessions. Confessions is a rare album which could fill a greatest hits album by itself, even without including My Boo up on the special edition. I was always of the belief that the confessions of Usher were real, based on his tumultuous relationship with TLC's Chili, but it was apparently inspired by superstar producer Jermaine Dupri's experiences. Apparently Dupri was a real Huron-zone. The most obvious ancestor of Confessions is Marvin Gaye's Hear My Dear, one of my favourite albums of the rankings so far. But Gaye was able to bring so much mess of emotion across through his dark, revealing lyrics and raw, soul singing style. In comparison, Confessions is very slickly produced. It's ideal for the pop charts, but makes Usher seem less genuine and less focused too. Gaye would never include a song like Yeah on Hear My Dear. That would be Gaye's loss, of course. Yeah is a great song, and imitating Little John remains fun to this day. So Confessions may be one of the best pop R&B albums of all time. It's not one of the greatest albums of all time. 2.9 out of 5. Today I listened to album 431, Los Lobos' 1994 album How Will the Wolves Survive? This is the second Tex-Mex album I've reviewed. Last time it was Pop Princess Selena, tried to expand beyond the limits of Tejano and reach the American mainstream, and this time it was a bunch of Californian guys playing rock music. Either way, polka and pop songs will never stop making me laugh. The Selena comparison is not really applicable. In fact, Los Lobos reminds me more of the Jail Guys band. Both bands have one massive hit, and a few smaller ones. Both bands are basically unambitious bar bands, tirelessly practicing but being there for a good time, not a long time. The best songs on How Will the World Survive, like A Matter of Time, Evangeline, and the title track, just like nothing more than the best takes of the best band from your town's bar scene. I don't really understand how this album made this list, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. 2.9 out of 5. Join me soon for another album review. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.